Good afternoon. I apologize for being late today. Legitimately having trouble with my computer system today. Um, I logged on literally at 11:58, and you see it's blinking now. I don't even know what's going on with that. So I pray that you all will be able to remain with me for today's Kingdom Fundraisers Live. I think because I have such an exciting conversation and opportunity for you all at the end of this podcast, um, that you all will be able to stay in with me. Brother Mark, I'm just logging on because, as I was telling everybody, I had some problems with my system. But let's just pray and believe with all our heart that we will be able to maintain and continue. I want to welcome my co-host and partner, Mark Tua, with me today. Love you, brother. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And with all of you all who are watching and joining now, we look forward to um, everybody getting really good stuff today. Good to see you, brother. Shalom to you, my friend. Again, today's podcast is on the Powerful Network, as far as I'm concerned, a powerful opportunity at the end as well. I've been talking. I've been blessed. I've been on a couple of podcasts in these last few weeks talking about Kingdom Fundraisers and talking about how to fund your life, and one of them kind of focused a lot on the 1 Minute Prayer podcast. And it was interesting that when I went live on Wednesday for the 1 Minute Prayer, I didn't notice it at all. I guess I was so into the message that I recorded on the Kingdom Fundraisers brand that you see behind me here. Um, and then Mark texted me, and I didn't never see that. So and my phone is off today, Mark, because somehow my Apple phone and my computer is blending, and so I had to turn the phone off so I can record here. So good to see you, and thank God for you being with me, both of you all, and everyone that will join me later on. Please let somebody know about this podcast. If you're in the fundraising business, if you're looking how a way to fund your life, fund your ministry, fund your church, fund your organization, you need the information that you're going to get today and in the future. Not only that, you probably need to join my YouTube channel where you can go backwards and get some of the lessons that we've been teaching for well over a year. It'll be a great idea if you connect to my website where you can download some of the material we're talking about. We're doing upgrades on that now, so that the website might be down. I don't think it's down, but some of the material is not there yet. So we'll be uploading that. I'm talking about super soon because we're getting ready to launch a 14-day challenge. We're going to do a webinar and a 20. I keep wanting to say 21 day. Maybe the Lord is telling me to do 21 days and not 14, but it's a 14-day challenge set up for you to be able to get some of my material very cheap, but also a great opportunity to become a member of the Kingdom Fundraisers Network. And that you're going to need for this next year. The material that's being offered, the courses that are being offered, the templates that you can do yourself, fill in and get more grants now, and fund your life now more than anything else. And I'm going to explain that to you in a little bit as I share this, because some of those things I want to make sure you guys get. Well, you're on the website. If you have questions directly for me, here's how you can go get them on the Canterly page. But I know Mark is going to put up next the LinkedIn site where you can go to Linktree, and log into all of our social media opportunities where you can get the Facebook, you can get the YouTube, you can get my LinkedIn, you can get my all of the accounts that I have that are social media brand. You go to linktree.com/Pastor Willie, and you'll be able to get those things. So I'll be posting that again in a little while. But today's lesson is really it's a lot from my heart, but it really is designed, because too many leaders are waiting for funding before they move forward. But what if the reason you're not really getting funded is because you haven't moved forward yet? Faith without strategy is frustration waiting to happen. It's time to fund your life so that you can carefully live your calling. I want to talk about, I want to share with you why, not just why, but let me tell you what fund your life means. When I say fund your life, I'm not talking about getting rich just to get rich. I'm talking about building a life where your mission or your calling or your God given vision can sustain you and your family while serving other people. Funding your life means your bills don't have to battle your beliefs. It means you don't have to give up your calling because of your cash flow. It's about positioning your passion to create provision on purpose with structure and with faith. I call this fund your life because it's not just about funding a program or one or two events. It's about funding your purpose, your peace, your future, so you can live and lead from a place of overflow instead of survival. That's when I talk about funding your life. Well, that's what I really mean about funding your life. When I began to talk about that, it was based off a series of, again, podcasts and conversations with people. And many of them were asking me about my struggle, where I come from. How did I go from pain to purpose? And it's because a lot of people have heard my story. And many of you have heard it when I was a musician as a young child and a director at church. And I thought I was doing good as a drum major of the marching band and went into college and ended up becoming a college dropout because I didn't know what I thought I knew. And I had to make a shift. That's why I call it now funding your life. I had to make a shift. So I ended up in the band. Well, I was with the band and we went on the road. And while on the road, things was happening that were negative. We had a great experience as musicians. I talked to one of my great friends yesterday. We're in contact with a lot of them now. They call me Pastor Willie, and I'm grateful. And these are stars. But it didn't work for me in that manner. My wife said, I need you to help with these children we got. I was married and we had family, and I'm on the road. I'm not bringing in income or not sending it. And I came home because my purpose for my family was much greater than my personal goal. When I did that, I found out, watch this, y'all. I didn't have any goals. I didn't have any plans. All I knew was music. I had to figure out how I was going to raise my family from scratch because I didn't have any other talent but knowing how to play a horn and drums and things like that. So I had to learn how to fund my life. And that's what I'm saying to you. I know many of you all have the same kind of shifts that you're wondering how to do what you do. And watch this. I'm going to say this, and it's no reflection on anybody else. But there are a lot of organizations or people online now, Facebook, online, or whatever, and they're telling you how much money they made to help you fund your program. But that's what I don't do. I try not to do. And I really try to show you how to fund your life so that you can build your mission, you can build your ministry, and your passion can take place. And so today, let me just talk about some things that will help you. I kind of gave you my story of how I got into this because I had to learn how to start over, how to fund my life. I had to learn how to get jobs, and literally many of the jobs I took as a young adult with children. I knew nothing about these jobs. I was really just taking them just so I can have some money. But after my wife and after I got my calling in the ministry and we relocated to another city, and my son was in a band that needed to raise some funds so they can record albums. And it was the one time my son asked me to do something that was from his heart. His story is another story, but I needed to help him. And we ended up learning how. I was actually tricked into learning how to fundraise. And that was one of the best decisions of my life, to learn how to help my son handle some of his dreams. They became recording artists. He's on a couple of albums. I produced a few albums back then. And so it was a new road for me. But guess what? I found out in my journey talking to people, there was a lot of folks like me was not sure how to fund their mission, how to fund their program. God had given them a vision to help people, and they weren't sure about how to do it. And that's why I'm here to help you know how to do it. Funding your life is about learning how to turn your vision into a structure that sustains itself. It's about using what's in your hand, not waiting on permission or a grant before you start serving. It means learning how to speak the language of funding while holding on to your faith and your mission. You don't have to be ashamed to ask for money because that's what's going to carry you through. But you just need to learn how to do so. Are you with me? And so if you want to learn how to fund your life, I've created a simple, I've got a package that I'm going to show you at the end. I don't really want to get into that now. I really want to help you understand today that funding your life, funding your mission takes steps. There are things that you really need to know. I was on with a friend of mine that here and I started a program 25 years ago, 23, 25 years ago. It was a reentry program, and he's now in North Carolina and been doing reentry since he relocated from Youngstown to North Carolina. And watch this, he's been funded now by organizations through the state government. And then I think he says September 30th, that funding stops. And you all know when I get online, I want to give you hands-on and ideas that's going to really help you, again, fund your life. So when he was telling me it's going to end, watch this, it's going to end September 30th, which means he has to make that shift. And how is he going to fund his vision? How is he now going to fund his passion? How's he going to fund his life? How's he going to fund his family? Because, and he is in his late 60s, maybe 70s, around my age, maybe the same age. And yet his passion for serving people as it relates to ex-offenders getting out of jail and knowing what to do before they get out, he goes into the prisons, educates these individuals, and then help them find structure when they get home. But that system is about to change, and he needs to know how to fund that system. And when he called me and we were on the phone about someone else yesterday, he asked me a specific question. Is there funding out there for what I do? I said, yes, there is. The reality is we had to learn, we had to do the research, we had to begin to look at how to do it. So after the conversation with him, I began to dive in, using my 5R principle: research, read, write, review, and relationships. And so when I got to talk to him today, I'd already did the research on what might fund his vision, right? And I was sharing that with him after I heard everything that he wanted to do. I heard his heart. I heard where he's already doing community work. He's built relationships. You hear me? That's what you all have to do. The 5 R's. It's available to you. In fact, that's a part of what we're about to launch for you to become a member of the Kingdom Fundraisers Network. We're getting ready to release our starter guide for $5. It's that simple. You'll be able to get involved beginning at $5. You won't be able to miss how to fund your life for a simple $5 investment. I shouldn't be doing a commercial this early, but it's in my heart because I keep hearing people talk about, how much money they made. Well, it's not how much I made, it's how much I want to help you make. We've helped organizations get millions of dollars this year alone. One organization got 5 million, another one got 1.9 million, another one got 1.5 million, another one got 969,000 that we're working with. Why? Because their passion for their ministry does not diminish even when they didn't have the money. One of the organizations, he waited 2 years to get the funding that he has now. Worked 2 years. Come on, somebody. So if it's in you, it's going to come out. And I'll tell you right now, if I don't do anything else to help you, by dropping the mic to help you remember something, remember this. Don't chase the money. Chase your vision. Remember, don't look at what's out there and let me go get it. Let me go get it. No. Make sure your vision is clear and plain. And that's what we want to help you do. Make sure you understand what God has called you to do or what's in your heart to do. Some of you all went through a mental situation and you realize you want to go help people with mental illness. Some of you all have children and you were looking for child care centers and things are not working. It costs too much. So you decided to do some of it on your own. And you took 3 or 4 of your best friends and y'all decided to have a child care center in the basement of your house. How do we help you fund that to help, again, fund your life? Maybe you want to do an after-school program or an outreach outside, and there are ways to turn your vacation Bible school into a legitimate youth program. That's what we try to help you do. And so when I look at what we did, I'll go again with back to the gentleman in North Carolina. We gave him all of the opportunities that's out there for him. And then we began to write out his structure on the things. I give a to-do list. Huh? And when I give you the to-do list, and I have every organization gets this from me. My first 90 days with you is getting your organizational development package right. Because if you're going to go after funding, you need to make sure you have all the things that the funder wants. And so we help you make sure that that's in your database first. And at the end of the day, when you find different funders, most of the time you just need to change your budget in order to take care of those funders. Sometimes you alter your mission, not your mission, but your approach. I use a specific tool that help you map out what your approach is going to be, so that you know what your outcomes are going to be for that funder. Because they're going to know how you're spending the money that you get. They want to know, and you need to know up front. And I promise you, if you have these things in your database and you start looking for funding, whether you pay a grant writer or you do it yourself. And I really rather teach you how to do it yourself, so that sometimes you can go look for money when the grant writer, because we're not cheap. Grant writers are not cheap. I don't want them to fool you, but what I want to make sure, if you work with We Pete Inc. or Pastor Willie, that you're qualified, so that when you go after funding, you have a better opportunity, a better chance, a clearer opportunity, and you and the funder knows. Why? Because I don't want to take your money. I refuse to write a grant for anybody that has not been qualified. If you don't want me to spend time qualifying you, getting you ready, then you need to find someone else that can just write that grant. Now, there are those of you organizations who have already been on the roll for several years, and my organization out of Tennessee was like that. So it was different making a proposal for those individuals who already had their database and was looking for funding. But if you're new, if you're a novice, if you want to learn how to fund your life, again, not just funding, this program, but if you really have a passion about funding your life, you have a passion to create a provision, and you want to do it on purpose, with structure and with faith, then that's what we try to help you do at We Pete Inc. and using Kingdom Fundraisers format or framework to help you get that done. Am I helping anybody today? Am I speaking to your heart? Because today I really wanted to share, what funding your life really means. Too often, I'm on here and I am giving out tools. If you join, Mark, I haven't posted any response today, because I just really my heart here today, and I think I better go back in here and see what some of you all posted, because I've just been talking and talking and talking and talking, because this is a passion. I see my young brother on here. He ain't that young no more. He just had a birthday last month. And it's great to have him with me today. I talked about Linktree. Go there and get my site. Go get those things. Let me see what we got here today. Look at you guys. You guys are, it's not more. It's more than just a cash flow. It is. It's fund your life, and you do it on purpose with peace, so that you have a future, right? That's really what it's about. Don't chase the money, y'all. Please chase the vision. Hey, man, this is my brother, Pastor Curtis Peterson. He's out in Glendora, California, and if I don't have it right, repost it. That's the truth. Chase the vision. Amen. He's a powerful man of God, and I'm so glad that I have a brother that's serving Christ alongside of me. He calls me Bishop, with my cousin Pastor Al and brother Sherwood down in fact, the gentleman in North Carolina I've been talking about. These are people that God has allowed me to connect with for years. We helped Pastor Al start his church and his ministry, and he's doing outreach. Sherwood, as I said, we talked today, over 25 years. of serving God together, but doing nonprofit work, doing reentry. These things are not new. When I talk about serving you, I'm not talking about something I started a week or two ago. 25 years of in the trenches, serving the community, looking for ways to fundraise, and teaching and training others how to do it. This is not just for me. I refuse to go to my grave without sharing these visions with you and how you can fund your life. And so that's my passion for today's ministry, for this call on here today. I just had to do that because of the conversation with Sherwood, um, the conversation with Coach Devin in the podcast that's coming out real soon. And the podcast I was on last week that it's already been, the reels are being posted on here. Many of you all hear my heart. This is not a fundraiser for me. It's a fundraiser for you. And so, if I can reiterate one more time before, I let you go, why do I call this Fund Your Life or Funding Your Life? Because I'm not talking about getting rich just to get rich. I'm talking about how to build your life where your mission and your calling and your God-given vision can sustain you and your family while you continue to serve others. You hear me? Funding your life means your bills don't have to battle your beliefs. Funding your life, it means you don't have to give up on your calling because of your cash flow. Come on, somebody. It's about positioning your passion to create provision on purpose, with structure and with faith. We call this, I call this, me and Mark call this, my team, my wife Ella call this funding your life, because it's not just about funding a program or one event. It's about funding your purpose, your passion, your future, so you can live and lead from a place of overflow instead of survival. I needed to share that with you today. It was on my heart, and I'm grateful to each one of you. I hope something was really truthfully said today that will bless you and will cause you to move forward. Listen as I close. In a week or two, I want to begin definitely. My goal is by the July 15th, and I get all of these tools, but I'm putting all my packages together as a part of our membership package. And you'll have tons of tools. You'll have thousands of grant opportunities every week, or even every day in the 14-day challenge. I'll release something new that will help you fund your life, fund your ministry, fund your church, fund your organization. So that challenge, we're recording now for those 14 days. And I keep saying 21. If the Lord moves me to 21, that's what I'm going to do. But every day you'll get an opportunity to learn something to fund your life. There'll be specific topics. And if there's some things you want to learn how to fund your life, don't hesitate to DM me, find me, and tell me what it is you want to learn. And I may add that to our 20, that might make the 21-day challenge. And so if there's something specific you want to know, I'm sure if you want to know it, there are others also. Tell me, I'll get the answer for you. I'll place that in our course. With that 21-day challenge is a course that you'll be able to get to. And as a result of that, you can become a member of the Kingdom Fundraisers Network, where all of my tools, all of my packages, all of my courses, all of them will be available to you for as little as $29 a month. Now watch this. To join the challenge and to begin this package, this whole thing, it starts off at $5. You can just get the book and do all of your stuff. So look, I promise you, you're going to have the announcement. I'm recording all of this stuff now, and you're going to have it in your hands in the next 3 to 5 days. My goal was to launch the challenge on the 15th. Now my goal is really to make sure it's in your hand and it's visualized to you, so you can do this and begin to start the challenge. And you can do it really on your own. But if you want to add me and have me help you with it, that'll also be available to you for as little as $5 or $29 a month. I'm telling you now, you cannot beat that. And as part of that package, that $29 a month package, you will get to become members of the Kingdom Fundraisers Network. Now, mind you, you'll have to do the year membership to get all of that, or you will be getting it monthly at $29. Now, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to close with this. The reason why, if you do the $29 a month, you will only get monthly information is because I've had people do this in the past. I gave them all of the material, and after a month or two, they were gone. Then they turn around and call back and want my help. So I'm going to do this in a way that's going to bless you. Hello, it's not, as I told you already, I would love to have tons and tons of money, but I would rather help 1,000 people at $29 than one person at $29,000, and it's over and they still don't get what they need. So let me bless you as a part of the Kingdom Fundraisers Network and membership. I look forward to talking to you this time next Friday. Hopefully by then, when we're talking next Friday, all of this stuff is up and running and ready for you to get involved and become a member of the Kingdom Fundraisers Network. God bless you. God keep you. Thank you for joining me today. I love you. And guess what? There is nothing you can do about it.